Good afternoon, everyone. I guess this is not the moment to admit that I'm extremely afraid of height, but it should be fine. I know what most of you are thinking now, that I came here to speak how limits does not exist and how everything is possible. Well, no, not really. I came to speak about dogs, about hope, and how you can change the world, and how you are already equipped to do that, only if you want to. So, yes, I'm working with disability more than 18 years now. I don't say that having a disability makes me a professional in disability area. I studied that, I worked professionally on that, and I'm academics in that. So before making an inspirational topics, I would like to inform you about some history which is not so often recognized about disability. Well, did you know that Tutankhamun, the pharaoh of Egypt, he actually had a disability. He was walking with sticks, almost like I did, like I do, and the Egyptians were not so, how to say, in shame of him. Well, for example, if you have a disability, it is recognized like a shame, or not beautiful, or being an outsider of the society. At that time, they just changed the rules for him. For example, if you are pharaoh in Egypt, you usually would have the printings of your, sorry, I need some breath. Okay, so you would have printings of your enemies on your shoes, as an example that as you walk, you basically crush your enemies. But in case of Tutankhamun, the image of his enemies was on his sticks, as an image that when he is walking, he is crushing his enemies by his hands. In addition, if you would check the tomb of Tutankhamun, you would see images of him sitting instead of standing, which was very, very rare in that case, because if you want to make images of Pharaoh, you would just make images of him standing, strong, and something else. But in reality, they were not afraid, and actually we could say that, make an assumption that they were proud of their Pharaoh having a disability, when in time, the perception changed. And next to the Tutankhamun, you see Braille, Luigi Braille, who created the tactile writing system, I think that's the English term, which changed the world for the blind people. At the time, if you were blind, there were no options how to read or write, and there were even some practices of mocking them, making clowns of them, like how they play without reading, or how they need to catch the pig when being blind so they could eat, and everything else. So Luigi Braille died in poverty, without zero acceptance, and completely in loneliness, because he never created a family. The main goal for him was to create that tactile system who would allow other people with disabilities, blind people, to read. And he succeeded, but only after his death. Why I'm telling you this? Because it's still very relevant now. We may think that it's history and it's forgotten, and the fact that I'm speaking here now today shows that we are living in a modern society. Well, not really. For the theoretical part of disability was changing about each 50 years, and we moved on from segregating people as being ill or invalid to human rights model, saying that the stairs and everything else should have some extra access for people like me. In practice, it's not really working. Why? Well, I think all of you are 18 years old. Could you please raise your hands if you are not 18 years old? Oops. Okay, so we're going to use very beautiful language. So you can be very trained, very educated, and very nice person, but life itself gonna show you a middle finger quite often if you have a disability. You see the case, international case, when being a the minister could not attend ES level meetings just because she was in the wheelchair. And you could say like, international case, rare case. That's my graduation dinner. I asked my colleagues who studied with me for 2 years, I got a master's degree and I soon should be a doctor, that I want to eat together with them. And I specifically asked them 2 months in advance, could you make a place where I could be together with you? They said, yes, no problem at all. But they forgot. And I could climb the stairs and participate exactly as I did today. However, the toilet was downstairs and the person who promised to take care of me never showed up. Well, she showed up for the party, but not for me. And I'm not here for, moralizing, but this is the public access in Vilnius. If I would go to administration and say, come on guys, it's 21st century, human rights model and blah, 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 could we make all the environment accessible? They would tell me, well, what are you talking about? It is accessible. Well, I challenge you here. If you visit Vilnius, please go to Acropolis and find access to go to movies without using stairs. If you can do that, please find me and call me. I need to see that as well. Well, that's why my project, which was mentioned before, was created. I didn't want to complain. I didn't want to keep repeating that, please guys, I want to live together with you. I wanted to show up how much you are missing out if I'm not there. Well, I created the kind of image or idea of a hike of dreams, which I usually use for getting Guinness World Records. So I have 2 Guinness World Records, 1 Lithuanian record and another one extremely long distance walking in crutches for 300 kilometers across Lithuania, just to show for the people and say that, hi guys, can I have coffee and tea with you? And yes, it worked finally. Instead of stopping me in the street and saying that, I think your mom should be like hanged on the tree for giving you birth. Yes, that real case happened in Kaunas. I love you anyway, but this story happened in Kaunas. They say, oh, it's you from the hike. I'm so happy that, people like you just don't stay at home anymore. And why I'm saying this to you, it's not like making you inspirational about how cool I am. It's kind of a secret what to do next after I'm leaving. You can have very good intentions and you can have very beautiful ideas, but anyway, you're gonna be really stopped by many people who will not get your idea. When I got the idea about Hike of Dreams, and especially in training assistance dogs for people with disabilities, that's a different presentation you can call. Even people with disabilities, even organizations who work with people with disabilities tried to stop me and said, our people are invalid. They are not having any money to have a dog. And for sure, definitely for real, they are not interested in participating in the hike. Well, why I did it anyway, as Stephen Hawking once said, is that if you are disabled in spirit, vice versa, if you have disability in your body, you should not be disabled in your spirit. And that's not related to my physical disability. Actually, it's related to all people who are without disability as well. How? Sometimes we have all the lockings in our heads. Like, I cannot do that, I'm just a student, I'm just in school, and I need to grow up and work with robotics, then I can change the world. Again, not really. For example, in case of disability, you are missing out a lot of potential, a lot of talents, a lot of interesting people. And for example, my husband is blind completely, and he is a programmer, also IT specialist. He told me never say programmer, and Paralympic champion as well. And when I started family with him, I was surprised how a person can live in complete darkness of the world. Actually, the lamps in our house exist only for me. Well, he told me that actually there are way more people with disabilities than we can imagine. And if we want to change the world, finally I'm getting to the point, because I have 5 minutes left, you need to humanize. Well, now I'm gonna share you a story which is painful for me, but I think you're gonna get the point. Once, one organization got the idea how to promote people with disabilities as human beings, which means on Valentine's Day, make a photo with someone who has a disability and make it as your Facebook profile photo. Well, I get the point. It's you are going to the person, you make a photo, it's nice, and you change it, so for a day or two, you get extra hearts in your profile. Great, but this is not the case. If you want to change the world in whatever area, because there are two types of innovations, which I'm trying to say to now. One is robotics and technology, and it's very fancy now. Another one is social innovations. Social innovations is when you work with people in the areas where no one wants to go, and help for those who never even had a hope of someone helping. So if you want to help for people who are like outsiders of the society, you cannot do the portfolio photos. What you need to do is to go there in silence, without any photographers or videos, give them your phone number and stay in contact. Take care enough so you would be brave enough to go to the games of football or theater or cinema with the person together, happy and sincerely, who would never be chosen by other people. Too ugly, not having any money, not being the best in the school, not being the best trendies in the class. Those who are usually staying in the corner. And I'm pretty sure that you know those people. And when you're gonna finish school, it's gonna be the same. You're gonna be able to choose among enormous opportunities on what to do with your life. So if you have empathy, if you have any kind of drive in your heart to work with people, please choose social innovations, because we desperately need people who understand the difference between yoga pants and building social innovations. What is the difference? Usually people go to Africa to change the world. Could you please raise your hand who wants to go to Africa and change the world or to help people? That's a sincere wish. It's nothing bad. Great, we have few potential visitors. So this message is for you. Please forget everything else I said, but remember this one. If you go to Africa and come back from Africa with yoga pants, with nice candles and everything else, and you constantly talk to the people how those people changed your life, and you got inspiration, and from now on you are not eating meat, with the whole respect, that's not the case. It means those people changed your world. It's not you who changed the world. What means of building social innovations in reality in Africa or in Lithuania or anywhere else, it's about building muscles, being exhausted completely, and collecting money when there is no money, building schools where there is no schools, and as Luigi did, Braille and other people with disabilities, admit that maybe you will never be recognized or admitted or rich. So if you think that's passionate way, I invite you to participate and do that, because I can assure you that this way is not making you rich, but you can sleep in peace, and every day you can think that, yes, my life is worthy of living. Thank you very much.